Colin Kaepernick was wrongly exiled from the National Football League. Colin Kaepernick was blackballed. It was unfair. He violated no laws. He violated no NFL bylaws. The NFL at the time had a policy in place that strongly encouraged you to stand for the national anthem, but didn't mandate it like the National Basketball Association or Major League Baseball. So he was in violation of nothing. We all know that he has been blackballed unfairly. We all know also that guess what? Not only was he blackballed unfairly, okay, but the fact that it continued spanning 3 years is egregious. The NFL hands are dirty as hell in all of this. Let's get that out the way. And the reason why it's important to get that out the way is because that's not the discussion. Nobody is sitting up there with any sense in their brain talking about the NFL was fair to Colin Kaepernick. We know that. But Colin Kaepernick knows that too. And at some point in time, you got to trust somebody. Max Kellerman just finished pointed out how speaking truth to power. You always do, Dr. Michael Eric Dyson. You and I go back and forth. But I would correct your earlier statement by saying we usually we agree because we don't disagree that much. We usually march in lockstep with one another. We just disagree on nuggets here or there, okay? The point is there's a plethora of voices all over the nation that have, that did, that will continue to come to the defense of Colin Kaepernick in terms of being a talent that belongs in the National Football League. Here's the issue. Because you don't trust the NFL, you use that as an excuse for everything. So you conjure support from the outside. Okay, the Jay-Z's of the world had his blackness. I mean, you had Eric Reed calling his actions despicable. Eric Reed has been despicable, thinking that his 27-year-old self, assistant with the worst run defense in the National Football League, get worse against the touchdowns, third worst in the entire league, just got shellacked by a 2-7 team in the Atlanta Falcons. But this brother shows up to the workout on Saturday, but he has to leave early. Why? Because he has to go and work for the oppressor. He has to show up in Carolina because he got a game. So there's rules and regulations that you're willing to follow because you want to stay in the league. There's a check that you're getting from the very people you say is oppressing you and Colin Kaepernick. But for us to sit up here and say, look, Cap, we know you're right. We can handle the noise, but you wanted that workout. Go to that workout. Because I came on the air, Dr. Dyson, last week, and I said, the brother shows up for the workout, he'll have a job in 2 weeks. Because that's what I was told. He'll have a job in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Just show up and leave the noise.
Keep the job?
No. Forget that question. Forget that. Step one, crawling before you walk. I understand that point. That's legit. But crawling before you walk. My point is, you knew that, 25 teams were showing up. The NFL, Roger Goodell, had organized it against the wishes of some executives. Right. All right? This was all in place. We gonna make the noise. What do? You buck the whole system, clearly orchestrated something on the outside, and don't inform them until a half hour before your workout is scheduled?
Stephen
Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on.
Damien, everything, like everyone knows you're straight up and down. But even you just accept the basic unfairness of what's happening. Like, I'm not saying you're wrong in terms of reality, but like now we're commenting on it, and he hasn't had a job in 3 years for non-football reasons, didn't break any rules, didn't break any laws. By the way, his protest was about the right kind of stuff, even. Right. And including the national anthem has racist lyrics, which we no longer sing, but it's in the song itself. Like, there's a whole history of this. Okay. Basic unfairness. Now, what's after that basic unfairness that we just accept, and we just brush right past that, but this is an opportunity in reality. Take it. Was it, in fact, an opportunity? Kaepernick's camp had good reason to believe, in my assessment of it, it wasn't a genuine opportunity. Stephen A., you may feel, no, it was more than they realized. I don't know, we won't know the truth because this is the way it panned out. But they didn't believe it. What was this really about? Let's talk about the opportunity. What was the workout about? Because he showed, I watched the whole thing live. It was online.
So did I.
He showed he had, according to all the scouts, elite arm talent. So what was the workout really about? At best, you can say he'll have a job if he can show not that he can still play, but that he's not still uppity. That's the word that was once used once upon a time. And that's what I smell underneath it all. It's not that he can't still play, because after all, if he says, no, I'm still going to stand up for social justice, is that a problem with people? Or is it the basic attitude? This is a man who took a team to a Super Bowl, came one play away from taking a team to a Super Bowl twice. This is a man who has elite arm talent, according to the scouts, in a league now that plays much more like he used to play. This is a league that probably all 32 teams could use him as a backup, but several teams, maybe more than 4 or 5 even, could use him as a starter. The workout, everything it was supposed to show, if we're talking about basic fairness, he showed, except for the real thing they wanted to know.
When white folks catch a cold, black folks catch pneumonia. In other words, that's a phrase to say that no matter how bad things are for others, historically in this nation, it's considerably worse for black people. What Colin Kaepernick is highlighting and illuminating and bringing to our attention is that it's alive and well today, especially with him. So how is it that you forget that when an opportunity is there for you, knowing what you got to deal with? You just go throw all of that knowledge aside because you caught up in your feelings. Oh, they're corrupt. You didn't know that? And by the way, you couldn't have had a workout other than Saturday? You couldn't have done that before? You couldn't have done that a month ago. Couldn't have done that 2 months ago. Couldn't have done that 5 months ago. You chose Saturday. Why? You showed up with Nike. Why? When you know, when white folks catch a cold, black folks catch pneumonia. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.